I woke up about an hour ago. It's currently 1 p.m, which is basically the new 6 a.m. for me at least. And I decided that I'm going to start doing video diary things, updates, or rants that I just want to post and get out there, because I've had this thing on my mind. And it's basically a catch up about my mental health, because that's all that seems to be happening in my life right now. You may notice I'm not really looking at the camera because I find it awkward, so I look at other spaces to distract myself. But I'm working on it. I guess that's just as good as we're gonna get with my awkward ass. I'm currently sat in bed with my dirty ass sheets and my week plus old hair. I have not showered for a few days, to say the least. And I feel like that's something that isn't normalised with mental health. Everyone's quick to defend how mental health affects everyone and shouldn't be shunned, and yet the second you say you don't shower, or you're having trouble brushing your teeth, or doing basic things to keep you clean, everyone says that you're gross and that you need help. And they're not wrong. Sometimes you do need help, but you're awfully quick to put down those who can't do basic things for someone who says that mental health is normal. I feel like they also don't talk about how depression is not always sadness. In fact, I do not remember the last time I have felt sad. Instead, it's this sort of numbness, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Which is kind of concerning for a 17-year-old to say. But it's this sort of feeling where you don't have feelings, which is very concerning and also very hard to describe. I've had very low motivation for the past year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's not just laziness, because I know what laziness feels like. This is more difficult to deal with, because I know that there's things I want to do, and I have a drive to do them, and yet my body refuses to take part and listen to my brain. It's kind of a sad topic, or uncomfortable topic to most, and yet I can't see that sad or upsetting side, because the numbness takes over, if that makes sense. And it's not like I am completely emotionless. It's still very clear I have emotions. I care for my family, I care for my friends. I feel sad hearing what's on the news. So it's very clear I still have emotions. And yet, in everyday life, in everyday tasks, there's no drive, there's no push to get things done. And that's very difficult when you're young. In adulthood it's obviously hard too, because you're more expected to get things done, you're expected to go to work, you're expected to have a job. But it's also more understandable that you would have bad mental health or feel this way because you have all this responsibility. And so when it comes to young people, it's almost not as accepted, because you're young, your whole life is ahead of you. What have you got to feel sad for? Why you have no reason to feel this way when you have so much to look forward to? And that's exactly the point. The world is fucked up, and if that doesn't get you feeling some sort of emotion or some sort of way, that's a problem within itself. And more problems start coming in when you realise you have all this to look forward to. And sometimes you can look forward to the future. You can dream about getting a job that's your dream, or starting a family, yet still feel this way. And that makes you feel worse, because it's almost like an excuse, or like you're lying to yourself, and you know it's not a lie. You can't help the way you feel, and yet having no physical explanation for the way you're feeling makes you feel worse, because it's unexplained. And so here I am, sat in my room, feeling like a shitty person for the past, I don't know how long. But I don't feel sad about it. And I don't feel bad about it. Sometimes I do, don't get me wrong. But sadly enough, I've gotten used to this feeling. So, there's nothing I can complain about. I wish I could sit here and explain that I have all these things planned for the future, and all the things that I hope to do and that I dream to do. But I don't. I have hopes to make videos. I have hopes to do well in school. I have projects that I hope I can do and that have not been planned. And yet I have no motivation to do them. And when I do, I have this anxious feeling where I know that I'm not going to get them done, or it's going to be too much hard work to get them done. For example, I would love to do cosplay music videos. I would love to do cosplay where you get dressed and you go outside and you make this whole CMV and everyone enjoys it. And yet I cannot go in public dressed like that. I can barely go outside and film myself at all. I did a vlog where I walked around and took in the scenery, and the only reason I was able to film that is because I was by myself and it was a field, and I still felt anxious as shit. And I know if I went out to do a CMV that there would be people and I wouldn't be able to escape from that. And it's not necessarily the fear of getting beat up or getting bullied, because I know that it's unlikely. I guess it would be more so the fear of being looked down on, which plays into the whole self-confidence part, which I do not have a lot of. There isn't really a point to this video. It's more so to get off my chest. I'm not even sure if I will fully post it, but something that needed to be said. And if I do post this, then at least someone may relate to it and can identify themselves and know that they're not alone, and that I am feeling just as shitty, if not more than them. So this concludes the video diary of my fucked up mental health. I might make more videos where I just talk about what's going on with me, or rant about whatever is going on in the world, which might be as frequent or as infrequent as needs be.